Hello friends, welcome back to our favorite channel MixFrost Fact. Here we have another interesting and informative video for you. So friends, watch this video till the end. Today we are going to talk about the most secure house on the planet, the White House. But you all know this because you all know that the White House is the official residency of Mr. Donald John Trump, who is the 45th and the current President of the United States. And we all know that the President of United States is one of the most powerful men on the planet who lives in the very guarded security all the time. But that is a very different and very long topic that we will discuss in the future.
Today we will not talk about Mr. President. Today we are going to talk about the White House, the residency of Mr. President. Many of you already know that the White House is located at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington DC and has been the residence of every US president since John Adams in 1800. Yes, you heard right. This building is almost 225 years old. That is more than twice as much as our total lifespan.
Many of you were wondering what was the residency for presidents before White House. So let me tell you that there was a house called the Samuel Osgood House, which is demolished in 1856, also known as the Walter Franklin House, was an 18th century mansion at the northeast corner of Pearl and Cherry Streets in Manhattan. It served as the first presidential mansion housing George Washington, his family and household staff from April 23, 1789 to February 23, 1719 during New York City's 2-year term as the national capital. After that, the first president, George Washington, selected the site for the White House in 1791. The White House was designed by Irish-born architect James Hoban in the neoclassical style. Construction took place between 1792 and 1800 using Aqua Creek sandstone painted white. Construction of the White House began with the laying of the cornerstone on October 13, 1792, although there was no formal ceremony for it at that time. The main residence as well as foundations of the White House were built largely by enslaved and free African American laborers as well as employed Europeans. Much of the other work on the house was performed by immigrants. Many of them did not have their citizenship. The sandstone walls were erected by Scottish immigrants employed by Hoban. The initial construction took place over a period of 8 years and reported cost of $2,32,372 today, that is around $33,50,711. The White House was ready for occupancy on November 1, 1800. After the 12 years of its completion, there was also a very sad part about the White House. During the War of 1812, on August 24, 1814, after defeating the Americans at the Battle of Gettysburg, a British force led by Major General Robert Ross occupied Washington and set fire to many public buildings, including the White House, known as the Presidential Mansion, and the Capitol, as well as the other facilities of the US government. And this all led by the British. Yes, you are right. This was the same bloody British who ruled our India. So leave that aside and let's get back to our White House. The total floor area of the White House is around 55,000 square feet with all 6 floors on the board. The main building of the White House divided into 3 major parts. That is West Wing, the East Wing along with the main building. East Wing and West Wing connected to each other by East and West colonnade. And the West Wing also has the Oval Office known as the President's Private Office. The White House covers 18 acres of land on the earth that includes North Lawn, East Executive Park, Rose Garden, Jacqueline Kennedy Garden, White House Visitor Center, South Lawn, White House Tennis Court, White House Basketball Court, and famous President's Park. There are 132 rooms, 35 bathrooms, and 6 levels in the residence. There are also 412 doors, 147 windows, 28 fireplaces, 8 staircases, and 3 elevators. The White House kitchen is able to serve dinner to as many as 140 guests. The White House requires 570 gallons of paint to cover its outside surface. According to country's real estate estimating website, the Zillow, the White House is worth roughly $400 million, but the site is off market as of now, so you won't be able to buy it no matter how much money you own. You simply can't buy it. But wait for a second. We were all talking about the building, the burning, the construction. That is all good. But what about the name, the White House? Where it came from? Why we call it the White House? Why don't we call it the Black House or the Pink or my favorite, the Dark House? Why the White House? So, the answer of this question lies on its history. The building was originally referred by many names as the President's Palace, Presidential Mansion, or President's House. But the earliest evidence of the public calling it the White House was recorded with a myth that emerged during the rebuilding of the structure after the burning of Washington. White paint was applied to the mass burn damage it had suffered, giving the building its namesake. The name Executive Mansion was used in the official contexts until President Theodore Roosevelt established the formal name by having White House, Washington engraved on the stationery in 1901. The current letterhead wording and arrangement, the White House, with the word Washington centered beneath, goes back to the administration of Franklin D. Roosevelt. But according to some other evidence, those looks convincing to me that there is speculation that the name of the traditional residence of the President of the United States may have derived from Martha Washington's home, White House Plantation in Virginia, where the nation's first president had courted the First Lady. So I think this way. But let me know what you think about the name of the White House. Do you have your own story? And also tell us what would be the name if you had the chance for White House.
So, this was all about the White House. And at the end, here is all the White House presidents. Leave your comment in comment section below. We hope you all like this video. If you like it, please press the like button. Also, please share this video with your family and friends and get subscribed for upcoming updates. See you guys in the next video. Till then, goodbye.